Hey, I'm back. My name's Church and it's currently 12:55 at night on a Monday, because I said I was going to continue to do this on Mondays, but my mother works from home today and I really didn't want her hearing me talking to myself alone in my room. So here I am. I know it's kind of pathetic to be worrying about that and to be living in my mom's house and whatever at 19 years old, but that's just kind of the reality of where I'm at. It's not in any way, shape, or form a lack of want to expand my horizons, but I can't go anywhere, I can't do anything. I can't even make it to my sister's college. It's 45 minutes to an hour away, and then traffic, which would kill me. I can't take highways. My radius, I think I said last time, was 15 minutes away from my house, so that's not even close. And it doesn't happen. I haven't had a job since January of this year. Something like that. I can't remember. I'm sure I could look it up, and I'm sure I should for resume reasons. But it's been a long time because I can't handle it. Not today. The week was really, really bad, but it's always really bad. The medication is not working. I think I mentioned that last time. It's just the anxiety is out of control. Constant. It's constant general anxiety over nothing. It's impossible. It's impossible to live with. So I keep taking my emergency medication. It wasn't exactly emergencies. Emergencies aren't always a situation in which I take these pills. They're not addictive. It's propranolol, which is a blood pressure medication that doubles as an anxiety medication. I don't think that's the best idea for me because I tend to have pretty low blood pressure, but I was taking hydroxyzine, it's an antihistamine, and it would knock me out for the whole fucking day, and I would be a complete asshole because I was exhausted if I tried to stay up. So we switched from that, and I'm happy with the propranolol. I just feel a little unsafe taking it. But today I took two, and I never felt really close to a panic attack. It was just trying to deal with the everyday anxiety, and that's not good. Thankfully, I have the medication appointment this Thursday, so I just have to survive until then. We're already started on that path. We're all good. At least I hope so. I don't know what the fuck is going to happen. Because last time I saw the psychiatrist, I bumped up my Klonopin dose. And I already thought that would be hard enough. Because benzodiazepines are kind of hard to come by. Because they're addictive and they have street value. And I'm 19. Luckily I don't have any record with addiction. Not that that would fucking disqualify me from having these medications because they allow me to live. Don't let me get on that soapbox, but fuck Big Pharma. Get my drift? Yeah, it's bad. But I take 1 milligram of Klonopin each morning, and it would be this Thursday that I'd taper up to 300 milligrams of Lamictal, a mood stabilizer. Yeah, I take it at night. It makes me a little nauseous. I don't know if it's helping or not. I really can't tell. It's supposed to be medication for seizures or for bipolar disorder, and I'm not sure if I have bipolar disorder. when I was in the hospital, they diagnosed me with borderline personality disorder, which, since the psychiatrist, psychologist, whatever the fuck that man, that horrible man was, he only saw me twice for around 30 minutes at a time, so I really don't trust the diagnosis. And I think it was only BPD traits. So I don't know what the fuck is going on. And at the time that I was in the hospital, I was 18, had just recently turned 18, which thank God, because from what I've heard from what I did hear from friends before that, the minor wards are horrendous. Not that the adult ward was that great, but the people were amazing, and I haven't heard the same about that for the wards for minors. Anyway, I don't know what the fuck my diagnosis is. The only thing that I'm sure of is that I have a panic disorder and agoraphobia, because that is the crux of my reality, is that I have that. This is the life that I'm living. This is it. So that's all I know. Depression's in there, of course. It's always been there since I was 12. Which it's normal to me at this point. I don't even bat an eye at depression. I don't give a shit. Like, I would take depression over this. I don't care. I would take feeling miserable all the time and absolutely horrible than feeling anxious constantly and like I can't shut off, and then panic attacks, which are like death. Like literal death. It's like dying over and over and over and over and over again, and I always think, what if I could just die once? And that's it. And just die. And that's the last time. But I don't want to die. I really don't. Which really sucks with panic attacks, because I die every fucking time. So yeah, I would give anything to get rid of this. Anything. Anything. Because it's ruined my life. And this is the reality of my situation. This is the truth of it, is that it's dying over and over and over and over, and it might kill me. Not physically, but mentally, and I could kill me. I don't want to. I really don't. I don't have a plan. I don't have anything. But I know that it could do that. And I'm sorry I'm smiling through all of this, because this is how I deal with these things. Because it's been so fucking long. 7 years of this. Forever. Of trauma leading to depression, leading to anxiety, leading to a full-blown rotten panic disorder and agoraphobia that won't go away and has completely destroyed my life. Not fun. It's not. It's the worst thing I could ever imagine, and I'm here living it. I never thought this would happen. I really didn't. I was a promising kid. You got good grades throughout elementary, middle school, a little bit of middle school. High school was in honors classes, and kind of dropped off a little during high school because I got into some weird shit. I can talk about that later. Doesn't matter right now. But yeah, I was good. But that doesn't mean anything. People who were bad throughout school, bad. People who it just didn't fit with them. It doesn't matter. They can go through this and not come out with whatever the fuck this is. It's frustrating. And I can say that I wouldn't wish it on my worst enemy, but if I could give this up, I would. I would wish it on a best friend if I fucking had one. because I don't like dying. I hate it. It's the worst thing ever. I don't want to die anymore. But I don't have a choice. So this is it. Sorry, it's like almost fucking 1 a.m. Actually, it's 1:05 a.m. So I am a little bit emotional. Had a pretty difficult conversation with my mother, and it's just not a happy day, not a happy week, not a happy life. Plus it's September, and that was when I had the last panic attack, and everything is reminding me of it. Especially the rain. I had to take the medication when I got up this morning, which Sunday is kind of the only morning that I get up earlier, that I really want to get up earlier, because I go to church. Yeah, hi, my name's Church, and I go to church. I guess to give a little more background, because I want to stop fucking talking about this horrible shit, is I was raised atheist, and was a nasty asshole about it for a very long time, which I think when you're younger, you're always a nasty asshole about religion. It's just kind of how it goes, at least in my experience and in what I've heard from other people. So, yeah, I was a dick. So is everybody else, though, so I don't feel too bad about it. There was some class in high school that talked about God being a clockmaker. I probably sound really stupid to anybody who actually knows this theory or who came up with it, but talked about God making the universe and the rules to the universe, like gravity, physics, whatever, and then walking away from it for some fucking reason. Who knows? And who can prove or disprove that? And I don't know if that was really what convinced me, or if it was something that just was building behind me. But I became agnostic, I guess you could say. I really didn't know either way. And I still don't know either way. The reason I started going to church was because I am writing a thing. I really hate to call it a book, because I feel like I am jinxing it, and I feel like an asshole, but I am 64,000 words in, and it's going pretty good. I like it, but the main character is a devout Catholic, and I really wanted to know more about the religion, because you really can't get the feel for that by sitting at home watching videos or looking up information, especially when you've never set foot in a church in your whole fucking life, which before the day that I went to that church, I hadn't, other than I think a wedding when I was probably 10. I don't remember that very well, so I don't think that counts. I'd never been to a service. And when I went, it was really, really cool. Catholicism is... its rituals are really cool to me. I don't believe. I still don't. I wish so dearly that I did, and some part of me wishes that I was raised religious, but I probably wouldn't be the person that I am now if I was, so I can't dwell on that. Or I shouldn't. I still will. That's me. So I've been going for a few months to this church, and it's amazing. Even though I don't believe, and if I did believe, I don't think Catholicism would be the best idea, because, I mean, even the parish that I go to is severely pro-life, which I don't agree with on any fucking level. So that's kind of awkward and painful to hear when that comes up during the service, which it did today, or I guess yesterday. But I ignored it because I just like the ritual, and I'm not contributing money to the church, so I'm really not supporting it. I'm not gonna go on a fucking march for them. No, no. So, but yeah, it was cool. The liturgy was about how the last will be first and the first will be last. The priest or father or pastor, I still don't know, it's been months, he was talking about a time that he had been coming home from being ordained as a priest. Was on top of the world and felt amazing, was young, had just accomplished something huge and been in nice places and all those things. And he was on a plane, had just sat down next to the window seat, so even better. And then a pretty woman sat next to him, which he thought was even better. But he said that they talked, and she asked him what he did. He says he's a Catholic priest. And she said, "Oh, that's great, I'm Catholic." And they talk a little bit. But after that, and he kind of leans back and stops the conversation, he said that he didn't think he impressed the woman that much, so... But after they were done talking, an older woman who she needed a lot of help getting on the plane to sit in the aisle seat next to them. She got on, had to be helped with all her bags, and sat next to this woman. And all of a sudden, he heard the woman start talking to this lady about how she had just come back from her mother's funeral, and just unburdening on this woman, on this older woman, like, who just had been through hell, or was going through hell, I'm not sure. But he said that he first felt entitlement because, he's a priest, he's young, he's a man, whatever. And she didn't talk to him about that. She didn't confess any of that. But she did to that woman, because that woman appeared weak. And I think we see immense strength in the weak. For myself, I can definitely say that. In that situation, that would have been what I went to. And he talked about how the last will be first and the first will be last, in the context of religion and heaven. But I think it's important beyond that as well, that the truly just and right way is to put those who are suffering, who have gone through hell, first, and to allow the privileged to carry them, to help them, to allow them to be first, and to know that those last will be trusted more than them because of how much they've gone through. I think sometimes that's the category I fall in. The whole thing made me incredibly emotional, and when I recounted it, I started crying, because I am one of the last, I think. I know there are people out there who have it worse than me. God, I know. I wish I could forget sometimes, because I won't stop giving myself hell over it. But there have been many times where people have come to me with their problems and with things that they've been going through, and even with just parts of their lives that they can't tell anybody else because I appear weak, and in that weakness I appear strong. It's all backwards, but I'm sure those of you who know what I'm talking about know what I'm talking about. I would much rather go to somebody who is more likely to understand and who's more likely to feel compassion for me, like that older woman would feel for that younger woman, than for someone who's just appears completely strong and happy and on top of the world. Why would I bring them down? And how do I know that I can trust them to know how I feel? So it made a lot of sense. And I don't really have a point to this. It's just something that I want to recount because I thought that was really beautiful and it really helped. I still feel like shit, and I will probably feel like shit for a long time. I might feel like shit until I die. No matter how or when that comes, which I'm not sure if it'll be soon or later, but the whole thing was important to me. I'm very, very glad that I saw it. And there have been a million other times where I've been in this church and I've heard great liturgies and inspiring words, and it's so strange that I could feel that because I was raised atheist. I still don't believe. I've never been baptized, of course, not confirmed, so this Catholic thing is real fucking strict to me. I can't go up and receive the Eucharist, and I wouldn't, because that would be totally disrespectful. Unless I was confirmed, baptized, all that, but again, with the whole, they're usually very conservative, and I don't do that. I won't do that. No. So, it's a lot. But I think if I continue to live, and if I get to a better spot, I will find more peace in religion, and probably go to some other parish church. I don't know. I really don't. I don't. I'm sorry for anybody who may be religious who's watching this, because I don't fucking know. Yeah. I hope one day I believe. I really do. I've been reading the scripture and trying to absorb it, and God, it's confusing. Even though I'm reading the modern English version of the Bible, holy hell. I stopped off on Numbers a while ago, because that was when I started reading Interview with the Vampire. Yeah. I should really continue. But it's a lot of work. I'm sure those of you who have read the Bible know it's a lot of work. It's a lot of confusion. And I don't know any of the stories, so I don't have any frame of reference. Good and bad. Who knows? Oh Christ, it's been 24 minutes of this, huh? And I don't edit this shit. I hope things get better, and maybe I'll do this again. But for now, I really hope that that medication appointment goes well, and the EMDR for Wednesday goes well. And hopefully I will see you again next Monday. Yeah. Bye.